Have you ever felt like you're just caught in a storm you can't see and you definitely can't control? Well, today, we are diving into one of the most powerful stories ever told about weathering life's absolute toughest moments, the story of Job. And we're pulling our insights from a really deep live stream by Mr. Peculiar X, who shed some serious light on what's really going on when our world feels like it's completely falling apart.
This is the question, right? This is the one that gets to the heart of it all. When things just go wrong, even when you're trying to do everything right, how in the world do you keep the faith? The story of Job gives us some pretty surprising answers that go way beyond what you see on the surface, and honestly, they might just change how you see your own struggles.
Okay, so the first major revelation from this breakdown is that our struggles, well, they often have a spiritual dimension that we completely miss. The idea is that there's this huge cosmic drama playing out behind the scenes, and we're kind of on the stage. So the live stream breaks down this idea of a heavenly court. It's not just a metaphor. In the book of Job, it describes a scene where angels are presenting themselves before God, and guess who's right there with them? Satan. And this isn't some casual meeting. It's basically a celestial courtroom where real decisions are being made about what's allowed to happen down here on earth.
And in this court, Satan isn't just some generic bad guy. He has a very specific job title, the accuser. The source material points this out from the book of Zechariah. His whole role is to stand before God and make a case against us, pointing out every flaw and demanding judgment. So, here's the bottom line for this first point. When you're going through something really tough, it feels so personal, so isolated, right? But this perspective suggests that it might be part of a much bigger, unseen spiritual conflict. You're not just fighting a bad day or bad luck, you're actually on a spiritual battleground.
Okay, so if there's a spiritual battle going on, what's really at stake? This leads us to the second revelation, and trust me, this one is a total game changer, because it turns out this whole test wasn't just for Job. Now here is the incredible twist that the live stream points out. Satan's challenge to God was basically, hey, Job only follows you because you've blessed him. You take all that stuff away, and I guarantee you he'll curse you to your face. All of a sudden, this isn't just about Job's faith anymore. It's about God's own judgment being put on trial in front of the entire heavenly court.
And this is where our personal struggles connect to something so much bigger. It means that when you hold on, when you keep your faith through the hard times, it's not just for your own benefit. Your faith becomes a testament that proves God's wisdom is true and silences the accuser. It shows that faith is real, even when everything goes wrong.
So this all leads to the third and final revelation, and it really gets into our very human need for answers. You know, when we suffer, the first thing we want to know is why. But what if that's the wrong question entirely?
Think about this. After everything Job has been through, he finally gets his moment to question God. But God's response from Job 38 is just staggering. He essentially says, where were you when I created the entire universe? And the live stream does a great job of pairing this with a similar idea from another ancient text, 2 Esdras, which basically says, look, you can barely understand what's happening in your own world. How could you possibly think you can understand the ways of God? We just can't see the full picture. And that right there is the ultimate lesson. The whole point of the test isn't for us to get a neat little explanation that makes sense to our brains. The whole point is to trust the plan even when we can't see it, even when we don't understand it. It's about making a choice, to have faith instead of having all the answers. Now, these ideas are obviously really deep, and what we've talked about is really just scratching the surface. So if this way of exploring faith and scripture resonates with you, you should know that Mr. Peculiar X keeps this kind of conversation going every single week.
You can actually tune in and join these discussions live. Sundays are for the deep dive Bible studies, kind of like the one that inspired this whole explainer. And then on Fridays, things get really interesting. They tackle all sorts of cultural and sometimes controversial topics.
Look, to get the full context and hear the complete, powerful breakdown of this incredible story, I really can't recommend this enough. Go watch the full live stream. Just head over to the Mr. Peculiar X channel on YouTube. And as you do, maybe ask yourself, what part of my own faith is being tested right now, and how might this perspective change things for me?